If you were to talk to the kindergartner adults that don't know anything about angels, what's that first message? What is it that you want them to know?
We are 24/7, 100%, all the time, constantly surrounded by guardian angels who adore us.
Gabby Bernstein, a role model for spiritual seekers.
Radleigh Valentine in the house.
In the house.
In the fucking house.
In the house.
Welcome.
Thank you.
I love you.
I love you too. I'm so honored to be here, so blessed. It's so exciting.
This all happened. We were in, so first of all, I've been the big fan and a huge devotee of your work for many years. We've traveled around around the country, really, together. Maybe we've been in Europe. I don't know. Maybe not.
Yeah, we were in London one time.
We were in London one time.
Yeah.
Many moons ago. Yes, many. And we've been sort of on these like perennial speaking tours together through Hay House. And I've just loved you since the moment I met you. And you are an angel medium. Is that how you would call it?
Sure.
Angel medium? Yeah.
Yeah.
And you have gifted us with these beautiful decks and books. And when we were last together in Tampa, we were having a little coffee. You came over. You're being very humble and just like, I was like, sit your ass down, have a coffee with us. And it was meant to be because all of a sudden I started channeling for the mediums. I was channeling for you and Sonia. And I had this whole download for you. And part of it was that we needed to do more together and that we needed to connect more. And that I've been opening up really psychically lately. And so it's not an accident that you're here with me right now. So if you're comfortable with it, I would like to welcome Spirit into our conversation. So it's sort of like you, me, angels, whoever wants to come in, not whoever, only the highest and the best.
Right, of course.
But to just open up to it if you're open to it, because that's kind of happening for me now. And I'm going to have to ask you some sort of like supportive questions as well as a medium. But let's just start with just a little bit of like the why, like why and how did you choose this path?
I think why is like my favorite question.
Oh,
I'm serious, but I think that a lot of people don't like why. They feel like why is a challenge.
Yeah.
It's a challenging question, I think, for a lot of people. And yet it's like the thing I love the most. I like live for why. It's like, why is this happening? Why is that happening? I feel like everything is a sign. And even today, I was like on the phone with a dear friend of mine, and I was telling him, I was like, I don't know what shirt to wear. I don't know which shirt to wear. And I brought this other shirt, and I picked up the shirt, and a button went flying off of it.
There you go.
And I'm like, to me, that is the stuff that you can't make up.
Can I ask you a question? Are those lilies on your shirt? They look like lilies, right?
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
They are. So my angel guide is called Lily.
Oh my God. You can't make this stuff up.
Make it
You
up.
cannot.
You
It is
can't.
impossible.
Well, she chose your outfit today.
Well, she certainly did, because that button flew off. It was right here. There was no getting around it. That shirt was not coming into the room.
This is just it.
And
it's the why.
Yeah, it's the why. But I love the why of the universe. And I love the whole concept of why are we here? Why did this happen? I have this whole concept that the universe loves us, and this is taking a turn right away, but the universe loves us so much that I know this is going to sound weird, but
Nothing is fucking weird here. Nothing's weird.
But it loves us so much that it will make us miserable.
Oh, okay.
It will make us miserable. And I look at it this way, that the universe is like so into joy. And this all goes back to why. And so people will be on this path and they stubbornly stay on the path, or they fearfully stay on the path. And the angels are nudging and poking and harassing. And I remember when I first started to make my way in this business, because as I think you know, I'm a recovering certified public accountant. I was an accountant. Yeah. And when I first tried to make it in the spiritual
Very much
world,
in the spiritual closet with the accounting career.
Well, you know what though? It's like I had a group of auditors working for me, and you can't hide from auditors.
Oh.
So they
Yeah.
knew.
They knew.
Yeah, they knew. They would like seek me out on the internet.
Oh, wow.
And so then these like really conservative people would come in and shut the door behind them and sit down and go, "Can you pull a card for me?"
Wow.
Yeah, it was kooky. But
Wow.
I tried to make it in the spiritual realm, and there was this part of me because that accountant still exists. I love getting to be right-brained and left-brained. I love that part. And so the left brain part of me was like getting all freaked out. I was building a house. It's like, dude, you're not really making any money. And and so I went back to accounting in the government, for gosh sakes. And it was awful. I mean, they loved me,
Mhm.
but I couldn't handle it. And it just got worse and worse and worse and worse, right up to this point where I had this auditor who decided that she was going to report me as being violent. Now, I mean, it's like the
You're the
human
least violent
I
human
know,
ever.
right? It was insane. The human resources director for that municipality could barely not laugh through the
Yeah.
interview.
Yeah.
But the thing of the matter is, the point is that the universe was like, you are not supposed to be here. You are not supposed to be here. It was just turning up the screws, turning up the heat, turning up the volume until I got so miserable
Mhm.
that I would say, I can't.
Yep.
I can't, and I'm not. And that's why I say that when we are like asking why is my life so awful? Why is this so terrible? Why is nothing going right for me? The answer needs to be from you. What do I do next then? Where is the direction I should be heading? When do I make the change? Why led to all of that?
Mhm.
And I am so goo over the angels. I've been talking to angels since I was 5 and not really even knowing what I was doing.
Yeah.
And it's to this point where I am so saturated in that energy. So saturated in that energy from the standpoint of I can't wait to tell people about it.
Yeah.
I can't. It's like we are like literally bathing in Archangel Michael's sapphire blue
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's like you have created this space to talk to people around the world where they can feel safe and protected
Yes.
because that's Michael. You are steeped in the whole energy of life purpose and what is life about and how can people have the life that they want to manifest. And Michael is like this perfect guide for that message.
Mm.
And all I want out of life at this point is to like be there when
Yeah.
people's eyes open for the first time.
Mm.
It's like you can put me in front of a bunch of people and I do light up in front
You
of a
do.
lot of
And you are a
people.
performer too. Yeah.
I am. I know. And I
In a
believe
in the greatest way.
I believe that's on purpose.
100%.
I'm quintuple Sagittarius.
Ooh.
Shine a light, shine a flashlight at me, and I will be like a Christmas tree.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think that's so that people can hear what the angels are trying to say through me.
That's why you're so contagious. And that's why I fell in love with you too, because it's like, you're like a performer. You're going to come out with your fancy fucking shoes. And but it's just in the true joy of being an expression for the light and to wake up that light in other people.
That's the thing. Being there when their eyes open for the first time. It's like if I walk into a room, and this is happening more and more, I think that the angels have got it, that it's like, this is what I want, bring me this. And so I'll walk into a room to teach, and I'm expecting there to be all these people who are angel people. And more, it's like I'll say, how many of you know anything about angels? And it's like nobody raises their hand. And to me, that's like score. It's like, this is it. This is the thing. Because that's what I want. I want the kindergartners
Yeah.
I love my
Although
college
those
students.
little oh, yeah, I got what you're saying, like the adults that are
The
kindergartners?
adults
Yes.
that are
I was like,
angel
the kindergartners know
kindergartners.
the angels are there,
Right. No,
right?
no, they do know.
They
They
do
do know.
know.
Your kid
My
knows.
kid
Oh,
knows.
yes.
Yeah, I wanna talk to you about that, actually. So, if you were to talk to the kindergartner adults that don't know anything about angels, what's that first message? What is it that you want them to know?
I it's
Like,
like,
what do I not want them
what
to
do
know?
I not want them to know? It's funny because I love the archangels, and a lot of people love the archangels. People get really stuck in that. It's a human thing. The archangels, it's a sexy, glitzy concept. It's like they're like practically like superheroes, and we as human beings, we love this categorization. We love this whole thing. Well, Michael comes in sapphire blue, and he does life
Mhm,
purpose, and he does,
mhm.
and we love that as human beings. And yet we are 24/7, 100%, all the time, constantly surrounded by guardian angels who adore us, who've literally been lifetime after lifetime after lifetime with us. Not just one.
Really?
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. No, they are like weaving in and out of this tapestry of existence with us all the time. They are, and that's why they're so valuable, because it's like you've got this guardian angel and you don't know why you're acting out that really bad relationship you had in 1934,
Mhm,
but they do.
mhm.
And the thing is that while they will not necessarily reveal that lifetime, you'd have to do that work, but they can still give you the guidance and push you in the right direction of going, that's you've done this before, don't do it again.
Or push you into it to heal it, right?
Or
Yes. Back
make
to what
you
you
very
originally said.
unhappy
Yes, yes, yes.
until you get past it.
Yes. I love that perspective of the difficult experiences in our life or guidance to heal.
I I just Human suffering is a real thing. There
Mhm,
is no getting around
mhm.
it. But I do think that most oh god, how do I say this the right way? Because I don't think I've ever said this before. I think that the suffering that we're experiencing that is of our own hand is 100% about us doing the healing work to go to a place towards joy. I've never said this before, I swear, but I'm gonna say it now. I'm thinking as we are speaking that maybe global human suffering is the global consciousness of our souls going, we have got to heal this planet.
Yes, that's right. Yeah,
We have to.
yeah.
We have just got to do it. And so we come in and we are willing to like sacrifice some measure of our joyfulness for the common cause.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so if you look at it that way, then you can kind of look at it to go, it all has purpose. We're back to why again. It all has purpose.
I happen to agree with you. And I also think that that's a loaded concept, right? Because
Yeah.
there's the extreme suffering of humankind
Yes.
and there's our human experience of that suffering and we're
Yes.
witnessing just horrific things.
Yes.
And so we can have a spiritual perspective but also have the human response, which is this is unjust, this is horrific, this is not no human should endure this, right? But it's a very loaded in a spiritual conversation. It really is truth
Hmm.
that when just even just from a sort of a different perspective, that there's been a lot of stuff. Let's not even address war, but even just the political environment, right?
Hmm.
And seeing all this chaos and destruction coming to the surface. But with that brings so many more people awakening to the light. So that point that you're making is it's like sometimes things have to swing so far one way to come back to that grounded awakening and cracking open. And I've known just and I also like that you addressed that the suffering from our own hand at our own
Yeah.
hand is where we can start to say, okay, what can I learn from this? But when we have extreme experiences that are placed upon us, it's we have to sort of see a deeper meaning there.
Right.
Yeah.
I agree. And
It's kind of a controversial conversation,
I know it is.
but I know you know what you're talking about, and I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know it is, and there's a million people who can write to us and say, but here's my pain. And I would be like, I can't in any way negate your pain,
Yep.
and don't want to, and
Yep.
couldn't even begin to try. But the thing is that you have a companion. You have multiple companions. You have guardian angels that are there that adore you. It is meeting your guardian angels is an act of self-compassion that has no literal limit,
Mm.
because you are literally connecting to something that was filtered down from the divine, from source, from universe, from God. I don't care what you call it, but is literally coming from the all that is love, and is determined beyond anything that you will be happy.
Mm.
Lily is concerned about Gabby, and by extension, the other people in your life that you love deeply.
Mm-hmm.
But Gabby,
Yeah.
Gabby is game one.
Yeah.
It is the number one thing that your beloved child and husband have their own guardian angels, and they're number one. But it's like, to me, to walk away from this eternal compassionate love and hope that is literally programmed into the matrix of our existence is sad and unnecessary. It's like suffering alone when you don't have to.
And thank you. I feel like there's so many people that are listening and they're thinking, I'm here. If they're listening, they have a spiritual inclination. They obviously leaned in, but they want that connection.
Yeah.
And I hear you, and I carry the same sentiment that if you only knew, there's this beautiful line from A Course of Miracles, if you knew who walked beside you on this path that you have chosen, fear would be impossible.
Right.
And I live that, you live that connection. Like, you can see my whole left side goes numb. This is my tuned in. Like, I know I'm in because this goes kind of numb, or it goes up like that. So it's sort of like antennas. We have our own ways of knowing spirits with us. But there's so many blocks that we place in front of that truth. Those humans that are in the human condition and have forgotten the spiritual condition. And so maybe even just by listening to this, it's a cracking open. But how would you recommend that somebody open the door for that connection to their archangel, or their personal angel, or whoever it might be that they're supposed to be calling into?
It's like anything. I call it going to the faith gym.
Yeah.
And it's like you don't walk into the gym and leg press 700 pounds. You walk into the faith gym, or the gym rather, and you leg press 25 pounds, or you do whatever it is that you're going to do to start with, which is completely determined by where you are at the moment. The key to it all literally is faith. There is nothing in my life I would undo. Nothing, no horribleness, no terrible pain, no awkwardness, no awfulness that I would undo. And I feel like I literally came to earth with this astrological chart that was designed, because Sag is faith. It's what it is. And faith is what gets me through, because I absolutely will not concede that anything that happens to me isn't meant for my highest good. You cannot make me. I will not do it. But that meant going to the gym and working in the faith gym, working that muscle. And so if you're going to start talking to your guardian angels, then it's about setting aside time for that.
Yeah.
Even if it's just a little bit of time, you can
pull a card.
You can pull a card. You can journal.
Read one of our books. So this is not a plug for my book, but The Universe Has Your Back.
Yep.
The subtitle is Transform Fear to Faith.
Yep.
That book is a faith igniter.
It is.
It's a faith igniter. I channeled the book. It is a gift that I was given to give to others. And that's any spiritual book, truly. It's not just mine, but I can say specifically that one of my books is like, that would be a place to start.
Yep.
to crack open to that potential faith, to that feeling of faith. Also trusting that there's faith infused. So now I'm channeling a little bit. So it's like trusting that there's faith infused in each pass of that book, each reprint of that book, or each reprint of a deck, or that you can experience the transmission of someone else. You can borrow the benefits of someone else's grounded faith. And the other thing that I'm hearing right now for us is that Spirit brought us together at this time, not before, but now, because the two of us are fully grounded in our faith
Yes.
in this moment. Like the full-blown alignment that I see in you is a reflection of what I see in myself at this time. Yeah. If you like this video and you want to get more Gabby, check out the next one right over here.